So far this morning, we have seen some lines at some stores in the area. It's nothing like Black Friday's past, though. Good morning, Washington's John Gonzalez is live for us in Germantown, where people are outside hoping to find a deal.
And part of the reason why, Adriana, is because 41% of holiday shoppers tell the National Retail Federation that they started shopping earlier than ever this year. But I got to tell you, we have seen a steady flow of people going into this Best Buy here in Germantown. And I'm actually quite surprised how many folks are walking out with air fryers. Did you know that appears to be the big seller this year? Well, 70% of shoppers say they feel comfortable shopping in person this year because of COVID-19 precautions retailers have put in place. But this year, more than ever, stores have to think outside the box and be more creative, because this year brick and mortar stores really are reimagined as fulfillment centers.
You can't put as many people physically into that store as you would normally put into that store to conduct sales. So now you think about, how can your store be a commerce hub? You're still going to have some customers in that store, so you'll have foot traffic, and you need a team to support them, and you need inventory there. But you're also going to use that store for curbside delivery for those customers that don't want to come in or don't have time to come in.
And here in Germantown, we've also seen a number of Montgomery County police out here just making sure that everyone is following the rules. And this is once again going to be a game of online shopping this year. Research by the NRF shows that online sales jumped 36% in the third quarter of 2020.
So while those shoppers hit up the big box stores, small businesses also need your support this holiday season. That's the idea behind Small Business Saturday, and Alexandria is taking it a step further this year. Good morning, Washington's Tom Rousey is there live to explain. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning to you, Adriana. Yeah, they're calling it Alexandria Shop Small Week. So it's not just Small Business Saturday, it's a week, and it starts today. We are inside the Red Barn Mercantile Shop, which is one of a number of stores down here that are actually going to open at 6 a.m., others opening earlier than normal. And I have Amy Rutherford, who is the owner here. And Amy, I want to ask you, because obviously it's been a difficult year to be a small business owner. How much does this Shop Small Week and this Christmas season this year mean to you, especially during a pandemic?
Well, every year it's critical. They don't call it Black Friday for nothing. This is when we start being able to pay our bills. And this year, more than any year, it's critical for our success to stay, so that we can stay in business. We just have to have a good week this week. And I'm told that stores down here are surviving. They're finding ways to survive. How have you had to kind of pivot in order to survive during the pandemic? Because you were telling me for about 2 months you couldn't open, and obviously it's been difficult since then. What changes have you made to try to survive as a small business? Well, we have really relied on the internet and social media and our newsletters, and we can't do the in-person things that we usually do, all the events that we usually do. So we're trying to do those things virtually. We're curating gifts for people. We're offering corporate gifting this year, which is brand new. So we're sort of pulling out all the stops wherever we can. So. Okay, and talk about too, you're a small business and there are limits on capacity. Yes. So it must be tough when you have a business that's not a huge, you're not a Walmart, you don't have a huge space. So how do you manage that as far as the number of people that can come in? Well, we've got a bouncer at the door, essentially. We have somebody monitoring the door the whole time. We are cleaning things down. We are trying to maintain social distancing. We're doing everything the state has told us to do, and we're just trying to be as safe as we possibly can. Yeah. Okay, well, and here at the store, you are opening in about a half hour. Several others are as well. A number of other stores opening early, like by 8 a.m. in Alexandria. And again, they're calling it Shop Small Week. So you don't need to wait till Small Business Saturday this year, because essentially it's a small business week and it's starting today.
The coronavirus pandemic is hitting all small businesses hard, but new research shows its impact isn't felt equally. Good Morning Washington's Kristen Powers shows us who's experiencing economic fallout the most.
It's women. The new data by Gusto shows that across the nation since March, women were 24% more likely to be furloughed and 22% more likely to be terminated. And that gap is growing even faster here in D.C. When you ask a business owner, how's it going?
Oh, wow.
That's a common response. And for women,
this pandemic is going to set back decades of work and progress that women have made in the workforce.
Rebecca Lee Funk opened the Outrage 4 years ago. The retail shop and community space right on 14th in Logan Circle was growing.
In pre-COVID times, you're a hub for activism where we'd host 5
events weekly.
But now,
every single week I felt like I was pitching a different pivot to my team of like, this is how we're going to get a few $1,000 extra this month to keep this train going.
Funk thinks the Outrage will survive the pandemic, but
we see left and right all of these businesses going under.
Data scientist Sarah Gustafson says a lot of those are women-owned.
A lot of that is because of the types of industries that skew more towards women-owned businesses, so salon and spa and retail.
When looking at the D.C. area, Gustafson says so far this year, women have been terminated at a rate 33% higher than men. That's grown from last year.
Women often share a disproportionate brunt of family care service burdens. And when we look at termination rates, that does include voluntary terminations as well as involuntary terminations.
And that's something Funk,
I had a baby a couple weeks before we went into lockdown,
can relate to.
If I wasn't in the position that I am at the Outrage and I didn't have my team, there's no way I could have kept my job. This is not sustainable. We need more help.